In today's knitting podcast, I'm going to be going over all the works that I have finished since my last podcast and the things that I'm currently working on and the things that I will be casting on very soon. So let's get to it. Hello, my knitting friends. Welcome back. My name is Christie of Christie Archer Designs, and this is my knitting podcast. If you are not new here, you will notice that my background is a little different. I have been super busy since my last podcast, redecorating, doing lots of painting and everything, and that is something that I will share in a different video, but I still have a few details to finish before it is ready. So on to knitting. This episode I have 4 sweaters that are finished and 1 accessory. I have 3 needlepoint projects and I have 2 whips that I'm currently working on, and I definitely have some good knitting plans lined up. So we will start with what I'm wearing, and this was a finished object last time. However, the buttons had not come in yet, and I'm dying to share these buttons with you. So this is my Sticks and Stones cardigan, the regular, the original, and this is the crew neck version. I also have a V-neck version available as well. This is done out of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in colorway Heathered Mink, if I remember correctly. It's in my last episode. But check these buttons out. Oh my goodness, I am so excited. Okay, these are little stone, they are actual stones. I got these off of Etsy, and the lady that runs the shop, she finds these stones in all different colors and shapes and everything. And I thought, oh my goodness, how perfect for the Sticks and Stones cardigan. So I told her what the yarn looked like and told her I wanted something in the grays and blacks, and she pulled these together for me, and I am so thrilled. I will pop her store name up here, and I will also include it in the links below. I highly recommend her. She is a dream to work with and just a wonderful human being. So I am super excited to finally be able to wear my Sticks and Stones, and I am just thrilled with the way it turned out. And if you'll give me just a moment, I will stand up and show it to you in full. All right, so here it is in full. And if you are not familiar, it has a really wide garter hem. It has 1x1 rib for the cuffs. The original I had with garter cuffs, but I have recently redone it and I have put in the 1x1 rib. I like the look of that better. And then the button band and buttonhole band is both done out of 1x1 rib. This is such an easy to wear cardigan. I leave it pushed up all the time, but it is nice long sleeves. I like it to cover my wrists completely. So I have written it with sleeves that are on the slightly longer side, but 90% of the time, doesn't matter what time of year, this is how I wear it with it pushed up. So, yep, this is it, and I love it. All right, I hope you guys are as excited about this as I am, because it just has brought me so much joy. So, that is the Sticks and Stones cardigan crew neck version, the original. And next, I have now added to my Sticks and Stones collection a pullover version. So this is Sticks and Stones Pullover, and by the time this video goes live, this should be released. It is a brand new release, and I'm super excited about it. This is done out of, oh, and I forgot to mention, this cardigan is a size 36, which is 0 ease for me. This pullover is a 38, I believe. Let me grab my notes. Okay. Yes, it is a, hold on, let me verify that. Yes, a 38. Okay, so this one I did with a little bit of extra ease, and I love the way it fits me. It is just, there's something about this collection that just has my heart. I just love it. So this is done out of Knit Picks High Desert Wool in the color, in the worsted weight, in the colorway Birch Tweed, and I am obsessed with this yarn. It is, to me, it just screams fall. It looks like a birch tree. So I'm really excited about it. And because you're knitting in the round, I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. I've got another one to show, so I'll show it on that one, but I decided to do this little faux seam on the side where the garter is, and it looks so, so nice. I'm very, very pleased with it. And this is how I would likely wear it myself. So that is the Sticks and Stones pullover. And my next, or my second finished object is another Sticks and Stones pullover. And this one I made size 42. So it is a good bit oversized, which is what I wanted because I have a pair of tennis shoes that are, they're like a cream suede, and then they're Nike high tops, and they have this color green check on it. And I've got some sewing projects lined up. I'll share those towards the end, but I'm making a shirt to go under this, and then I'm going to get the same colored leggings as the shirt. So I really wanted this one oversized. That was a lot. But this one is done out of, excuse the fold mark. This is done out of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, which is just a go-to yarn for me. I do so much with Wool of the Andes. This is the worsted weight. You can see the cuffs, and it has an Italian bind off. Yeah, Italian bind off. And the reason I had to look is I've started using another bind off. I still prefer the Italian bind off, but extra long cuffs, extra long sleeves. So they definitely come to like the knuckle area. 1x1 ribbed neckband, and you can see that beautiful seam on the side. Oh, it is just beautiful. I love the way it worked out. Now, I did these myself. It is written for make one left and make one right, but just for something different, and I'm sorry, my dishwasher's going. This has been bad timing. I've been trying to do this podcast for weeks now, and like I said, I've just had a lot going. Okay, back to the sweater. I decided to do a knit front and back on this, and I like the way it looks. So I may show that as an option in the pattern because I just think it's kind of something a little different, something a little fun. So yeah, that is Sticks and Stones pullover, my second one, and it is a size 42. And oh, the gauge on these, on both of these, 18 by 24. So 18 stitches, 24 rows, very, very, very across the board worsted. And yeah, I think these take me, these come in 50 gram skeins, and I think these take me with the Wool of the Andes. I'm pretty sure it was like 8 skeins with just the tiniest bit left over. And that was for the 42. I can't remember how many skeins I had of this, but I had a good, it must have been 4 because these are 100-gram skeins. And I had a good bit left over, and that was the size 38. Not too much left over, but, you know, wasn't scraps like this one was. I would recommend getting 9 just to be on the safe side because I literally had next to nothing left. Okay, so that is trying to figure out where to put everything. FO number 2. FO number 3 was a whip last time, and it is done, and I am so excited by it. This is my Laken pullover, which is a new design. I'm hoping it'll be ready to come out by end of January, sometime in January. This is a pattern that's going to have lots of options. So to start off with, you will have an option to do stripes or solids. You will have an option to do standard hip length or tunic length. You will have the option to do a standard crew neck, a double folded crew neck, a mock neck, and a turtleneck. So the possibilities are endless with this. This is a worsted weight pattern once again, and all of these, I have 2 today, 2 more coming. They're all done out of Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino. This particular one is done out of coal and marzipan, and if I could bottle up a formula for a sweater that represents me, this is it. I'm obsessed. Haven't been able to wear it yet, and I will say I had pre-blocked the body to make sure everything fit before I did the sleeves, and the sleeves have only been steam blocked, so you may be able to see a difference. They're not as nicely blocked as the rest. So this is Laken, and once again, extra long sleeves, extra long cuffs. This one has the tubular Italian, and I don't know if most of you guys know this, but there is a difference between the tubular bind off and an Italian bind off, and a lot of people call them the same thing. They are not the same thing. Look it up. They're 2 different bind off methods. But anyway, this one I did do the Italian bind off, and this is the tunic length. So because this one is the tunic length, I went to a 42-inch on the width so that it would allow for my hips. This one will be black leggings, black boots all the way. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. It is a beautiful yarn to work with. I will say, my opinion, it is not standard, it is merino, and I love Knitting for Olive because they make sure everything is, they get their wool from farms that do not do mulesing. They take care of their people. It is sustainable and all of that. That is very important to me. So that is one reason why I really love working with Knitting for Olive. But there's something about the texture of this. It's probably not as high of a micron count. That being said, it's probably not going to peel as bad as regular merino either, which makes me so happy. I wouldn't call it rustic. It's not rustic. It is definitely next to skin. You can just tell a little bit of difference between this and standard, all of the other merinos I have worked with, which is something I don't work with often because of the pilling. But this one, I was going to say something. I can't remember what I was going to say, but I do love this yarn. It is so much fun to work with, and the end result is amazing. It has a really wide 1x1 hem as well. So yeah, I cannot wait to get all 4 of them done. Sample photo or photos for the pattern done, and this is going to be a much loved sweater this year and for many years to come. All right, Laken number 1. FO number 3. All right, my next finished object is my second version of the Laken. This one is solid, no stripes. This one is a standard length, and this one has the double fold crew neck collar. And oh my goodness, I love this. If I'm able to get videos, I may pop them up here of me wearing them as I'm talking about them, because I don't have photos yet. Most of the time I have photos. But this is, again, fold marks. This is the Laken, my Laken number 2. And this is in Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino in Dusty Petroleum Blue, which I am obsessed with this color. It is the powderiness, but the depth at the same time. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And this one I am doing once again. Got a little thread. What was I saying? I'm losing my thoughts today. I apologize. This is, I don't know where I was going with that. I do love, I've never done a double folded collar before, because here in the desert, I feel like it's just going to be way overkill. But I do love the way it looks on. So I'm very excited about this neckline, and it was a lot of fun to do. Oh, I know what I was going to say. This one, as of right now, I have it written for make one right and make one left, and I may keep it that way just because I know that's what most people prefer, but I'm really enjoying the knit front and back, the look of knit front and back right now. So I've been doing knit front and, did I do that on this one? Yes, I did. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm just really enjoying that, enjoying knitting my raglans like that right now. All of these, I did not say, are top down raglans in the round. There's no seaming. So yep, that is sweater number 4, my Laken. And like I said, I'm hoping, or it will be released in January. I'm just not sure exactly when yet. All right, my last finished object. I am so excited, it makes me giddy. Okay, I am redoing my house. Not redoing, I'm doing for the first time. I've lived in the house for 4 years and had not planned on painting the walls, but I was out and about one day with my husband and ran across these curtains, and these curtains changed everything. I will share all of that with you later, but long story short, I am now in the process of painting every wall in the main part of my house. So I've got 2 hallways, the living room, kitchen, and the kitchenette dining area. Every bit of that is going to be green, and you can't see, but all of the trim is painted white. All of my cabinets are white. And then I'm doing tiny touches of brown with it. So with that in mind, our Christmas tree has been, since we moved here, I've done it in green and white. Just a very, very, very soft, not really, there's no colors on it. It's just basically a green tree with white and, you know, tones of white. ornaments and occasionally a little green ornament or whatever. So I decided to add some knitting to my tree this year. And I bought the December bow pattern by Petite Knit and whipped one up last night. I'm so thrilled with the way this turned out. So, oh my gosh, it is just stunning. Now, I just used some yarn that I had here on hand, but I have fallen in love with the color of it so much, and I think it looks so good with the green that I think I'm going to buy some more of the mohair. I have plenty of the yarn, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but the mohair, I am going to get, sorry, I'm holding it by the little string at the back, have it sewn loops. I am going to get leather for the loops, which is what the pattern calls for. And so I'm putting these on the tree. I am going to knit it at a little bit of a tighter gauge for the ornaments, just so they're just a little bit smaller. I could put them on like this because we have a fairly decent sized tree. But I think I want them just a little bit smaller, and then I'm going to do a larger version for the top of the tree. And then we put a few pieces of garland around the house, not garland, sprays. And I'm going to make some green bows for the sprays because the sprays go on white cornice boards. And so I think the green on the white will be really pretty. So that is my very first December bow. I'm thinking I'll probably make somewhere around 12 for the tree. And I have a very full tree because every year I buy more ornaments and more ornaments and more ornaments. But I love Christmas ornaments. I don't do a lot of decorating for Christmas, but I do love decorating my Christmas tree. So I am going to be making more of these. It takes an evening to make one. There's nothing to it. I am thrilled with the end result, and it has brought me a lot of joy. My daughter saw it, or I showed it to my daughter, and she immediately said she wanted one for her hair. So I'm going to be making one for her hair as well. But yeah, my very first December bow, and I'm obsessed. I may do a little accent pillow for the sofa and knit it and then put a bow on the center of the pillow or somewhere on the pillow. I think that would be really sweet too. The possibilities are endless with this. So that is my final finished knitting object. Oh, I didn't talk about the yarn. Sorry. This is, first of all, the gauge on this is 22 by 42. 22 by 42. I did block my bow. It doesn't say to, but I did block my bow before I did all of the bow creation of it. You just knit one long piece and then you turn it into a bow. I did block mine, so my row gauge is probably a good bit longer than what the pattern calls for, but it made up perfectly. So I don't think I'm going to change much, but like I said, I may go down a needle size or two. I used a 3.5 for the bow and a 3 millimeter for the centerpiece, and that is US 4 and US 2.5, I believe. Yes, US 2.5. I should know that. So yeah, it's just a garter piece with an I-cord edging, and her instructions for creating the bow are just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So very pleased with that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and talk about my knitting whips, and then I will talk about other things. So I have shown this before. I have made a little progress on it. It is not done yet, but it's getting there. It shouldn't be too much longer. Try to get it. Okay, this is my granny stripe shawl, and this thing is just so much fun. Last time I showed it, I had just finished the blue row, so I've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more seven more rows. And this thing is just so much fun. Once it is done, oh my gosh, it is just so cool. I'm not one for crochet at all, but this is really cool. And it's probably, oh, sorry, I literally did nothing to my hair. I just threw it up in a messy bun. So yeah, I'm halfway across a row right there. Don't know what happened. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't tell what in the world happened there, but there's some loose threads. There's been a couple of times where well, there's one right there you can see where I have only done one, and I've got to go back and add 2 more treble crochets or double crochets, whatever they're called. And I probably did that right here somewhere, and those are my strands left over from fixing it, which let me tell you, that is not easy. But I'll have to look at it real good and see. I wonder how many more of those I've made. How many more mistakes. I think that's like my 4th one that I've done like that by accident. I've gone back and fixed the others, but I guess I missed that one. So anyway, love this pattern. All of the information will be in the description box. The designer name is, I don't remember the designer's name, but her Etsy name is Crochet Object, O-B-J-E-T. So anyway, that is that. Loving that project, and looking forward to having that one done for my daughter. And my second and last active whip, I am making an everyday hat, which is one of my patterns, for a friend of the family. And it is, I'm making it out of acrylic because I'm not sure what their lifestyle is, if they are in a position to take care of wool. So anyway, I've got, what is that, about 2.5, 3 inches of this, and I did decide on this one. I'm just trying it out. I'm doing 1 row of, well, for me it was 1 row of knitting, because when it turns up, it'll be a row of purls. So hopefully it'll hold that fold in place, because this being acrylic, you're not gonna be able to get that, you know, blocked effect. So I felt like it needed that 1 round of knitting just to keep a nice fold, keep the brim nice and folded. So that is that. I am using Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek, and this is the colorway Purple. And it is a really pretty purple. I'm not a purple person, as you guys know. That is my least favorite color, but this one has a lot of gray to it. So it's not a bright neon purple, it's very muted, and I do like that. So got this. I don't know, next time it'll be done and it'll already be shipped out, so I'll just get pictures of the finished object for showing you guys on my next video. All right, that is it for the knitting. If that is all you are here for, thank you. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I hope I have been able to inspire you and would love to hear where you are watching from and what you are currently working on. So if you will please leave me a comment, that would make me very, very happy, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Now, for any of those interested, I have been doing a little bit of needlework. I finally got a way to organize. If you're new here, I simply do cross stitch needlework, that kind of thing, for a mental break from the knitting. Sometimes I just need to walk away, especially when I'm working on designs, and I do little tiny projects that I can do in an evening while watching TV. So finally got a way to store all of those, and this is my little binder for my needlework projects. I believe I have shown all of these previously, and of course there's going to be a glare, but yeah, I'm sure I have shown those previously, but I'm going to take these out so you can actually see them. This one I recently did. I love mushrooms. For any of you that do not know, I'm obsessed with everything mushrooms. So I did a little mushroom cross stitch, and of course it is showing up. There's accurate colors. It blows out when I bring it up close, but it's so cute. I had so much fun with it. So I did that, and then I decided to get into embroidery. And my first piece, I'm wondering if I showed this last time. Maybe I was working on it last time, but there is my first piece, and I am still trying to perfect my French knot clusters. I'm fine with making French knots, but creating a pretty cluster is definitely a practiced thing. So I don't know if you can see the little clusters, and I'm just teaching myself. I'm literally looking at pictures and just doing it on my own. I have not bought a pattern yet. I don't know if I will. I may, but I am just doing this for the pure fun of it. Now on that particular one, I drew directly on the fabric. I did not like, I'm still figuring it all out. I may go back to the drawing on the fabric, but I do like the precision of, you can buy this stabilizer that you run through your printer, and it has a very lightly sticky background that you can stick on your fabric. That is what I did for this one. Learned a very valuable lesson, however. I did not pre-wash my fabric before doing that. You have to wet your fabric. You don't necessarily have to wash it, but you do have to wet your fabric when you're done in order to dissolve the stabilizer. It's a water-soluble stabilizer. And when I did that, the fabric shrank and some of my stitches went wonky. So, very valuable lesson. You will see the wonky stitches immediately, but I'm still happy with the way it turned out. As you can see, these stems right here, those were bamboo stitch, I think is what it's called. On this one, I did all of the stems. There's like 4 different types of flowers. So I did each flower with a different stem type, and just to play around with the different stitches. And so whatever that particular flower is, I used the bamboo stitch. The others did fine, no problem with getting wet. But anyway, I'm having fun with it. Another thing I learned on this is the when I put the stabilizer on, and I know better than this. I don't know what happened, but my stabilizer went on not straight as far as the the weave. So all of this is on an angle. I'm sure you can see that. So like the grain of the fabric, but yet this came out on an angle. Very disappointed in myself on that. I know better, but I'm still just having fun with it. Like I said, this is simply for the fun of it. Now these, I am going to have to get different pages for my binders because these are just a little bit too big for these smaller sleeves. I kind of have to scrunch them up in there, but yeah, it's fun. Like I said, this is just a way for my brain to reset, maybe. But it is fun. And I just got this little binder off of Amazon. I was looking for, I think this is a 5x7 binder. And this ended up being a binder for some kind of K-pop cards or something. That's why it's got that little thing on the front. But anyway, I don't care. It just needed a place to put my stuff in. All right. The last thing I'm going to talk about is a couple of sewing projects I have coming up. Give me just a moment. I left my fabric over there and I will share that with you. Okay, you guys know, if you are not new here, that I sew extensively. Prior to knitting, sewing was what I did. I was a children's clothing designer. I designed patterns and all of that. So I also like to sew for myself. And my favorite thing in the world are these button down, button up tops, whatever you want to call them, just a blouse. And I've got tons of these in white. And I love the white, it goes with everything, but I wanted some in colors as well. And I know I talked about with the green that I wanted a kind of beigey kind of color for the shoes. So I set out to find fabric. I wanted linen or a linen cotton blend. Could not find that in the color that I wanted, but I did find this. It's 100% cotton and it is a chambray, which I love chambray, so I'm very happy with this. But I got this to go with this specifically, but it will also go with everything. I mean, it will go with my entire wardrobe. But it will just be really nice to have, and I haven't pre-washed this yet, but it is a beautiful chambray. And I got all of this from a new place to me called Fabric Wholesale Direct. And their prices are phenomenal. I think I got this for $5 or $6 a yard, and this is 54 inches wide. So I didn't have to buy, normally I would buy 2.5 yards. I just bought 2 yards of this to do what I needed to do, and that will be more than enough. I'm very excited. Okay, so I also wanted to do a couple of other basics. I still want to find a green, but they didn't have a green that I really liked. So, or they may not have had a green at all. I can't remember. But anyway, and then I also got this in the chambray. It's the black chambray. It has a beautiful, beautiful finish to it. It's just gorgeous. And then this one is a little different. This one is they refer to it as a linen, and the only thing I can figure is that I don't know why they've called it a linen, because it is cotton. Sorry. But anyway, just a solid black. Once again, a beautiful look to it. So I am super excited to get those 3 shirts made. My machine is currently down, and life has just been so busy. I have not had a chance to fix it. So I've really got to just sit down and look at it. I do have some other sewing projects. I want to make some more project bags. I know, being funny. With all of the sweaters that I have been working on, I need larger project bags. And for now, I just went through and bought some El Cheapo totes off of Amazon, and they are doing the job, but I would like to have some pretty project bags. And I have the fabric I bought a long time ago, so I just need to get my machine fixed so that I can do that. And then I think I have one project that I need to get sewn up for work. Maybe more than that, I can't remember. May have a couple of small projects that I need to get done for work. And for those of you that don't know, I work at a quilt shop. Hi, Debbie. And so I occasionally do some sewing projects up there. But I think that's it for today. So not too bad considering it's been at least a month since my last podcast. So if this type of content is your ball of yarn, I would love to have you subscribe and click the bell icon so that you are alerted when I have new content out. And if you could take a quick second to like this video and leave me a comment, I would appreciate that as well. I am so excited to have you stay all the way to the end with me. And I appreciate every single one of you and look forward to seeing you again soon. I do have some good videos in the back of my mind that I am wanting to do, so definitely subscribe so that you are notified when those are available. And I will see you next time. Bye.